Okay, so I meant to start this earlier, but shit happened. Plus, it's finals for me. Um, yeah, so this is I'm in day 3 of working on a comic right now. This is the first time I've ever done this, but I thought maybe I should record my thoughts in going into this. I'm 12 pages in so far. Uh, well, technically 11. We're not gonna. The first page is supposed to be the cover, and it kind of screwed up the formatting. I think it could have had it page 0, but fuck it. I'll do that later. Um, right. So I already did all the writing for my comic. Essentially, I did like a screenplay as to how everything's turning out. I'm occasionally referring back to it, but yeah, not so much. Not as much as I thought I would. Things are changing slightly. I'm probably gonna go back. There's really a difference when you're writing a comic down and then you actually start drawing it, and you get a feel for what you think is right. Um, right for essentially you're kind of reading it yourself as you're working on it, and what I'm feeling is like, oh, you know what, if I was reading this is what I want to see next, this is what I kind of want to feel out next. Now the issues that I'm coming into is that because I'm not really much of a writer. I think I fall a little bit weak when it comes to character development, at least for groups of people. And I'm probably gonna take some outside help from friends, my mentor, a few other people, see if I can strengthen this. So far we're following a group of. We're in a flashback scene at the moment, which I don't know how I can best convey that. I did kind of this little. I was gonna do vignetting uh, around the side of the panels, but I don't think the vignetting's gonna really help, or at least it'll just get in the way. Maybe for just one panel or one page. I'm still trying to figure that out. So we're in this flashback. We're following the main character of this volume and 4 other people who are scavengers and trying to find their way to trying to find food out in this dystopic wasteland. Not so much dystopic. Well, not so much a wasteland, but absolutely dystopic. And you notice everything I'm doing is super rough and a child's drawing for all intensive purposes, but in terms of my flow, that's when I'm doing really rough sketch work. That's just how I work because I want to get out. I want to get as much of my thoughts. Sorry, I want to get as much of my thoughts down, um, and as concisely as possible. Because as all artists may know or writers may know, you'll have moments where you're really feeling all the motivation and how you want the story to be. But if you leave it for too many days, it just starts to wash out in your mind as you overthink scenes or you overthink things. So I'm in day 3. I can tell you for a fact, like before the flashback and stuff, you can already tell that this styling is a little bit different, as opposed to going into day 3's work where I decided to add a little bit more detail to the scenes. Well, kind of detail, quote unquote. Let's put an asterisk next to that because yeah, maybe it's just a flaw of mine, but my styling just changes. Which is, I know, bad. Like, why are you doing comics work if your style changes constantly? It's I have I have consistent style when I do line work, and you know what? Let me start fucking drawing because I'm sure I'm boring the shit out of you people. What am I gonna draw? What am I gonna draw? I've already taken up 4.5 minutes of your time. Probably somebody looking up here going like, yo, are there any food here? Um, yeah, so, it's a little bit hard to multitask. I'm not much of a talker and drawer unless it's like fucking, I do sketch thump, in which case, yeah. That's where I really shine, and just doing utter shit that nobody asked for fun. By the way, check out Sketch Dump. It's our weekly show where I get myself and my best friends, and when we just start drawing horrific shit for nobody's entertainment but our own. Get a little light. I know it's not how fucking light works, but fuck it. Yeah, so drawing and talking is a little bit tough. Maybe I can go into my process just a bit, and that is that like I'll listen to music, you know, just buckle down. When it comes to certain scenes, there's actually like some music that are really like a tone setter essentially of what I'm looking for. Like I love listening to horror music or eerie music or something just really bone chilling, just so I can get the sound right. The comic, I'm going for a sense of just this eerie vibe. More show don't tell, and I think it reflects more in the writing too, where we're having you know, monsters don't exactly show. There are monsters, but they don't like show up until way fucking later, and you know, we're not talking like modern day horror where they just go like, "Bah, I'm here on screen." It's more of a ominous thing that's just there, and you don't want to deal with it, and you don't want to see it again, and that's what I hope to convey. And I took most of my inspiration from Dead Space, The Thing, which Dead Space did take from The Thing and Event Horizon. Art style wise, though, the roughs are not really a great representation of what the final's gonna look like. I mean, in terms of general shapes and stuff, yeah, it's pretty accurate, but the actual stylistic design, one of my favorite artists is Austin Mengler, and he's a fantastic horror artist. You should give him a check out when you can. And he just draws the most fucked up stuff just off of a gestural style. Oops, it's not the tool I want. Yeah, so just this gestural style of just doing really light lines and then doing that all. He does more painting than line work, although he has some amazing line work as well. And that's what I really want to try to convey when I start working on this, is just like light light line work, and more gestural lines to convey motion and essentially the drawing. I don't know if any of your artists are out there who kind of understand what I'm trying to say. It's like rather than drawing, you know, detail per detail, line per line, a detailed face and all this other stuff. Like let me do something real quick. I'll do a face, right? I'm sure I'm gonna make some of you guys cringe as you're like, why do you draw like that? I know, I'm sorry. You know, actually another fantastic artist that I really adore is Ben Templesmith. Just see, my art style is gonna change again fucking today, guaranteed you, because I watched all of the Dead Space animated comics last night, and I enjoyed those 45 minutes. So yeah, Ben Templesmith actually worked on the Dead Space comic. And his stuff is less about like form and more just about like suggestion of form. This isn't how I normally fucking do eyes, but It's a windy day here in Los Angeles. So even I'm doing way more lines than like Ben Templesmith. Why do they fucking do this weird gritty teeth? It looks so stupid. It's a process. As you can tell, fucking nope. Where in like one scene the eyes won't look similar or anything. It's you know, it's not gonna be uniform art style, that's for sure. So I'm not gonna draw up the full hair. I'm just gonna, you know, more accurate as to how I do my art style, just staying in really really light strokes, or I guess heavy strokes, but very fast, and that's what I very much want to convey. As far as for horror goes, I think it's actually a great pairing, since I always draw my main characters with beards. So he's more of a depressed looking guy. But yeah, or like, let's see if I want to do something like crazy, right? So, you know, that's more of what I do now. This is my very rough, trying to go through this fast so I can get back to the fucking art itself, but, yeah. Essentially, I really want to feel the energy in every stroke and then convey that. So, you know, when you guys are watching this and seeing this, you have an idea of what you know, just with the picture alone, you can tell that the strokes are just very different, and you feel a sense of energy for each one of them. Now, this will be somewhat expected of the final product. When it comes to actual inking that I'm going to do, I'm going to keep kind of true to that, but it's going to be a lot more refined. I love the messy look. In fact, I may even keep in faint roughs, because that's how I normally work. It makes the lines feel a lot more full, a lot more just active. Like there's just more going on with the line work, as opposed to just doing solid line work with nothing, you know, just clean line work and then painting over that. I'm not a fan of that. It's kind of boring to me. I think it works well with other people's styles, and I'm somewhat envious, but at the same time, you know, I just know it doesn't work for me. And any other artists out there who are looking to, I don't know, like, you know, get into work like this, or do artwork, or, you know, anything artistic, don't ever get discouraged by, you know, like, this one guy can do something, I wish I could do that, but I can't. You have your own thing, And if you haven't found it out yet, you will. Everyone has their own thing that they're really good at and they do better than anyone else. And this is very unique. Every artist, just based on looking at their work, has a unique style, or kind of it's like their thumbprint. If you look at one artist's artwork and you see somebody else try to copy it near perfectly, there's something about it that's just a little bit different, and that's like the thumbprint of an artist, and all of us have them. Start looking carefully at your stuff. Anyways, I think I should cut off this devlog. I don't want to keep him too long, and fuck, I'm already at almost like 16 fucking minutes going on my stupid rant about how to draw shit. Yeah, so this is day 3 of my Comic City Abyss. I'm probably gonna change it, like the name City Abyss, because it's kind of edgy as fuck and not really feeling it. Tomorrow we can probably get into my layouts, how I set up my pages, and a few other things, and then maybe the next video after that I can talk about conveying a story in horror, because as I forgot to mention, I've been working in like the horror franchise for, like, I've been working on horror games for 5 years, and I've kind of picked up a thing about like writing horror games and writing things for the horror genre. Alright, thank you guys so much. See you next time.